Little shop, horror maps. Wait. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Performance Perspective, where we watch different performances and then we share our perspectives. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kara Darling, your performing arts commentator. I gotta get used to saying that. But anyways, welcome, because today we are talking about the musical Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is a darkly comedic rock musical that originated as a low-budget 1960 black comedy film directed by Roger Corman. However, it gained significant popularity when it was adapted into a successful off-Broadway musical in 1982 with a book and lyrics by Howard Ashman and music by Alan Menken. Sound familiar? Yes, these are the men we must thank for the Disney Renaissance. Little Shop tells the story of Seymour Krelborn, a nerdy and downtrodden florist who works at Mushnick's Skid Row florist in a not-so-great neighborhood. Seymour discovers an unusual and mysterious plant he names Audrey II after his co-worker and secret crush, Audrey. This peculiar plant has a unique appetite for human blood. Yep. And as Seymour feeds it, it grows larger and more demanding. As Audrey II grows, it becomes clear that this extraordinary plant has a sinister agenda, and it promises Seymour fame and fortune in exchange for more blood. The moral dilemmas faced by Seymour and the consequences of his choices are central themes of the story. The musical combines elements of horror, comedy, and science fiction while exploring themes of greed, ambition, and the corrupting influence of power. It features a memorable score filled with catchy songs, including Skid Row, Somewhere That's Green, and Suddenly Seymour. Little Shop of Horrors has been widely praised for its witty and darkly humorous narrative, as well as its memorable characters, particularly Audrey II. The musical has enjoyed numerous revivals in the adaptations over the years, including a 1986 film adaptation and various stage productions worldwide. One of the distinctive aspects of the show is the puppetry and animatronics used to bring Audrey II to life. I mean, it was created by Jim Henson, and of course, the movie was directed by Frank Oz, who has worked with the Muppets. Back to the puppetry of Audrey II, which shows the increasingly elaborate versions of the plant as it grows. The character of Audrey II has become an iconic figure in the world of musical theater. I love this musical, both in the theater and as a movie. So I was in this musical. I was lucky. I got to be a doo-wop girl. I was so excited. I was Crystal. But yeah, of course I was younger. It was high school, I think. And I might have seen it live, but I don't remember. I would love to see it live. I had no idea what this show was about. And so I watched the movie. And before I even read the title, I thought the show was called Little Shop of Horrors. And I was thinking, how in the world is our high school doing this? And everybody was like, yeah, totally. I did not expect this musical to be as wild and funny and very dark all at once. It's just one of those musicals that I just love. The music is so good, honestly. So here are things you may not have known about the movie Little Shop of Horrors. So as part of the film's promotion, Audrey II was being interviewed, but in character, by the press. On at least one occasion, the interview concluded with Audrey II eating the interviewer. I would love to see that. I want to react to that footage so badly. The members of the film's Greek chorus are all named after 50s and 60s girls groups. The Ronettes, the Chiffons, and the Crystals, and that's who I was. Originally, John Candy was offered the part of Mushnick. He asked if there were some minor roles, and Oz said, wink, Wilkinson, and he accepted. The filmmakers originally offered the role of Audrey to Cyndi Lauper. I believe it was due to schedule conflicts, so the role actually went to the original stage star Ellen Greene. I will say this, when I saw the movie, I didn't quite understand her character, and I thought her voice was different.
Still that Seymour, so cutie. Oh, well, if not, he's good enough. Beauty,
But as time goes on, I actually now love what she did with the character. Apparently one of the people they were thinking of was Madonna, and I'm glad that didn't happen. Want to hear something else kind of crazy? Eddie Murphy was actually in talk to be the voice of Audrey 2. In the original film, Seymour kills the dentist with a dental instrument. It was Alan Menken, whose father had been a dentist proponent for the safe use of laughing gas, who proposed having the dentist asphyxiate on his own nitrous oxide. His mother was more than a little disturbed to find that a dentist was being dispatched in this way. The pictures of the rotting teeth were provided by his father. So in the original book or movie, I believe Seymour actually kills the dentist with one of the tools, and then Alan was like, why don't we do this, which adds a lot more conflict in Seymour, because technically he didn't murder that person, he just so happened to died. And then as the story goes along, you know, Seymour makes, I will say, bad choices, and as it goes along, it's like Seymour makes bad choices with good intentions. And something about the movie, when you see Bill Murray go in there, that is not part of the stage. I love that scene. I used to watch that scene over and over. It made me laugh so hard. But the instruments that Steve Martin is using as the dentist, it's the same tools that apparently Jack Nicholson is using as the Joker. After Tim Curry declined the role, Frank Oz considered both John Travolta and Dan Aykroyd for the role of Orin Scrivello. In case his next choice, Steve Martin, proved unavailable.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, what? That's better.
However, Martin ultimately was able to accept the role. Robin Williams was briefly considered, but told Oz he didn't want to do another musical after the failure of Popeye. And because he and Moranis had starred in Club Paradise, it was released months before this movie, which had flopped with both critics and audiences. In 1998, a special edition DVD was released with the alternate Everybody Dies ending.
Everybody dies. Not everybody.
Which is how the show goes. The DVDs were yanked off the shelves a few days after the release and replaced with DVDs without that ending because David Geffen wanted to re-release the film in theaters with the gruesome ending. The ending was restored 14 years later with the release of the director's cut Blu-ray. Wait a minute, I don't think I've ever seen the gruesome ending. I knew that there was a difference with the theatrical one where it's like they all live and it's all good, but in the theater one, yeah, everyone dies. But there's a lesson to it and it's funny. So I can understand why the audience, I guess when test watching, didn't like how the movie ended gruesomely, because in the show you're able to see, you know, the actors come back. And I don't know if they do this in our show when, you know, the dentist Audrey and Mushnick and Seymour and all of them come back, they're actually dressed in leaves and stuff to sing, you know, don't feed the plants and things like that. So again, you're laughing along with the cast versus, oh my gosh, they're gone. And then it's like credits. But yeah, I don't think I've ever saw the gruesome ending. So I definitely, you know what, next episode, I'm definitely going to react to that. And then let's talk about it. Anyways, darlings, I hope that you're all safe. Be careful of the plants out there. It's a crazy world. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, take care, darling.